Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. This is live number 3. Please check my community page for said polls, updates, breaking news. Seth Rogers has given an interview to News Nation alongside Mr. Tony Mathis, his spokesperson. As most of you know, a photo has been released to the general public pertaining to Sebastian Rogers. Is it that an actual, I don't know how to word it. Is it the child? Seth says, yes, it is. I asked this question earlier during my live, and now, voila, news interview. He says, yes, it is. He has not seen the video footage of the said boy in the photograph. Don't know who the woman is that called in the information. Don't know why she didn't call 911. Many rumors circulating in this storyline. Some of you believe that relatives of the boy child live in North Carolina. Or which side? Mother side, father side? I don't know because I can't keep up with the rumors, and I don't even try to keep up. Because in the end, it's just a version. The link is in the chat if you want to join the Queen on the panel to give your opinion pertaining to Seth's commentary and Mr. Mathis's commentary. And Lord have mercy, I really want to hear from that investigator, Miss Heather, who is no longer working. What does she have to say about Seth's opinion that this is indeed his son? Because as we said earlier in the live stream, wouldn't a person know their own child in a photograph? It's not to say you can't make a mistake, of course. But you would think a person would see a photo and say, yes, that's my son, that's my daughter. So then we have to say, if this man believes this is his child, then why have we not heard from authorities? Thank you for joining me. News Nation is the source.
News Nation has not authenticated it, so there's a possibility this is a case of accidental misidentification or of a deliberate and sick hoax. His father, Seth Rogers, says there is video of the sighting as well. We're hearing authorities are looking into it, but whatever it is, the image adds a new twist to an already bizarre case. Joining me now is Seth Rogers, Sebastian's father, and Tony Mathis, a family friend who is helping Seth and his family out. Thank you both.
Oh, I must jump in right here when she says family friend. Is he a family friend? I thought you reached out to him. So, Seth, do you know Mr. Mathis? Because my understanding, and once again, everything's just rhetoric and rumor. Mathis says you reached out to him. He didn't reach out to you. So I've got to ask, do you know Mr. Mathis personally? Because the understanding is that you only knew of him from the Caleb Harris case out of Texas. So now he's a family friend. What is the truth? See, we are definitely going around the mulberry bush. Maybe I should have put that as my title. Mulberry Bush Part 2. Stay woke, everybody.
For being here. Seth, I've got to ask you about this photo. When you look at it, do you think it's Sebastian?
I do.
You're sure?
Wow.
Pretty sure.
And I understand you drove to North Carolina to check it out. What did you find?
Drove to North Carolina to see the video. I was told that the video was unavailable to me because of an investigation.
Where did the video and the photo come from? Do you know?
My private investigator has spoken to the person who took the video. The picture was taken at Grandfather Mountain in North Carolina.
And why would your son is autistic. Does he know anybody in North Carolina?
Let's hear that question again. She's asking who talked to the person or know about the picture. So, Mr. Mathis, Mr. Tony Mathis, did you speak directly to the owner of the photograph? Because, I'm getting a little older. I'm starting to become forgetful. This usually happens when there's bullshit in the story. It's easy to forget because you're going around the mulberry bush and you're listening to lies. So, Mr. Mathis, did you speak to the owner of the photograph directly? Let's go back. Stay woke, everybody.
The picture was taken at Grandfather Mountain in North Carolina.
And why would your son is autistic. Does he know anybody in North Carolina?
Let's double back a little more further. Hold on, because there's something off here.
To see the video, I was told that the video was unavailable to me because of an investigation.
Where did the video and the photo come from? Do you know?
My private investigator has spoken to the person who took the video.
Oh.
The picture was taken at Grandfather Mountain in North Carolina.
And why would he? Your son is autistic.
So before she gets into the next question, his spokesperson, Mr. Mathis, who's also on this panel, he spoke to the person. Seth, you know I'm going to have to. Oh Lord, Angela, don't do that, but I'm going to. Ooh, when they say Satan's a liar, they meant that, and a thief. Why didn't you speak to her, sir? Seth. Queen wants to know, why didn't you? You are the father of the child. So why didn't you speak to her, him, Bubba, Pookie, Mary Sue? I don't want. I don't want no messenger. So this is why some people feel like you should be the one doing your own talking. Everybody's entitled to his or her opinion. Why are you not the one that reached out? Because this doesn't make any sense. You heard about the photograph, saw the photograph. You go to North Carolina. They won't give you the footage because it's an investigation. Police have yet to speak on this topic. And now you tell us on News Nation, Mr. Mathis has spoken with the orchestrator of the photograph. Oh, hell to the no. I want to talk to her directly. Matter of fact, I want to look her in the eye. Meet me at McDonald's. We ain't got to do no video chatting because it's about my son, so we're going to keep it 100. Stay woke, everybody. Is this a hoax? Is this a sick hoax to throw people off the trail of this boy? Make people think he was kidnapped. He wandered off. He met up with somebody. As you see in the photograph, it's an assumption that he was okay. He all right. He don't look sick. He don't look scared. I don't know what the hell's going on. But like I said, a person should know their child in a photograph better than me because he's not my child. So I don't have to speculate if it's him or not. But the nose looks like him. The features, the body feature, the long face, all of that. Some of you believe the hair is darker, possibly dyed. Is his hair dyed? Shut your mouth. And some of the comments under the video are not nice towards Mr. Seth. Some believe you're being sarcastic in your answers, that you are mimicking Mr. Proudfoot. Is this a ruse? Is this a hoax? Lord have mercy. All of you would fall down if you found out all three was involved in the disappearance of Sebastian. Then you'd say, well, why would they mudsling with each other on social media? That wouldn't be right. You asking the wrong person because I don't know what the hell's going on.
You know anybody in North Carolina?
I don't know.
I don't know.
And how far away
Lord have
is North
mercy.
Carolina from his home? How many miles, do you know?
I can't.
It's about a 6-hour drive with no traffic.
Okay, so no idea how your son would have gotten 6 hours away to a whole different state with nobody that you know. Nobody you know in North Carolina, no reason for him to be there.
No, ma'am.
Tony,
Okay.
First of all, let's clarify your involvement in this case. You are not being paid by Seth to be a spokesperson. You are just volunteering to help him, right?
Correct.
Okay, so what have you been doing? What have you been able to find? What aid have you been able to give?
So I've only been...
Before Mr. Madison starts, he's letting you know he doesn't have anything to gain by being involved. If you need verification for this conversation, this content, News Nation is the source. Let me let him say it again, in case somebody in the back got wax in their ears. And remember, anything said is just perception. You're entitled to your perception of the information.
Correct.
Okay, so what have you been doing? What have you been able to find? What aid have you been able to give?
Hold on. Let me go back some.
No, ma'am.
Tony, first of all, let's clarify your involvement in this case. You are not being paid by Seth to be a spokesperson. You're just volunteering to help him, right?
Correct.
Oh, Suki, now shut your mouth. So he's not paying the spokesperson. So really, what was the reason that the private investigator stepped back? See, I'm going to keep riding on that donkey. Because I told you something off with that woman that was working with Justice Warriors Investigations. So if this man is doing all this on his own, Mr. Mathis, he's flying around the world, to Hendersonville on his own, paying for his own hotel room, his food. Y'all better stay woke. Then I'm going to ask you again, Miss Lady, why did you step away as the private investigator for this case? Because so far, no one from the FBI, Sheriff's Department, Pookieville have told us that this is indeed the boy child. So people are still searching for Sebastian Rogers. I'm going to ask you again, ma'am, why did you step away from this case? Did Seth ask you to, number one? Number two, did you feel inadequate with this Mr. Mathis coming on board? Did he say something out of the way to you? Number three, you saw something in the story that was funky and suspect, and you backed away. Checkmate. Ain't nobody listening to the queen. Ain't nobody listening to the queen. They never do. Say it again, queen. Ma'am, why did you back away from this case? Because I know what version you gave on Facebook may not be the spoken word. As you told us in your commentary on Facebook, that there's more to the story and more behind the scenes that don't nobody know about. Well, I think we already know that. Now we got folks jumping out of helicopters talking about pressure washers and sleeping in the garage and all types of things. What's the truth? What is the truth about Sebastian Rogers? You see, I'm been woke because I go by the stats from the FBI and common sense. 450 children are murdered each year by their parents. I'll wait. 450 children are murdered by their parents each year. Caretaker. The parents don't seem in tune to finding the damn kid. He's the only one on the ground. They're bickering back and forth on social media. What is the truth to what is going on in this story? Seth hiring PIs, firing PIs. This lady steps back because the FBI is involved. So she says, so she thinks. But nobody told her the FBI is involved. That's her assumption. That's her assertion. Or that's the version she gave y'all. Because what did I tell you? I ain't really got to tell you how I really feel and what the fuck I think is going on. That's for me and my ears and my eyes only. I'll tell you what I want you to know. Say it again, Queen. I'll tell you what I want you to know, not what I think is really going on. So who the hell lives in North Carolina? Anybody got any suggestions? Or we just took a day trip up there and took the boy up there. Is this photo of this boy? And if so, why would you have him out in public? And there's an Amber Alert for him. Checkmate. Or you just a frisky old rascal said, I don't care. I want to go outside with him. Or was that the plan all along? Oh, shit. Don't do that, Queen. I did. Oh, you didn't think about that, did you? This has been an alternate, devious plan from the beginning. To play possum with a boy child in hiding and then bring him out so somebody could see him and then go back in with him. Oh, my goodness. Please tell me no. Or is this a fake photo, an old photo of the child? Which is it?
Okay, so what have you been doing? What have you been able to find? What aid have you been able to get?
So I've only been officially with Seth since Friday. I traveled all weekend. We've set up some interviews. We're doing more talking back and forth and coaching as to how interviews should work, which interviews to take, how to make sure that we're prepared for the interviews. And quite honestly, we're just trying to cut out the drama in the case and get refocused on finding Sebastian.
Has anybody gone and interviewed any of the people or gone to the underpass where it appears he is in this photo?
I don't believe so. We wouldn't know if law enforcement had done that or not because we really haven't got much information from them regarding this, which we completely respect because it is part of an ongoing investigation. We were given quite a bit of hope when Seth asked to look at the camera footage from the state park, and law enforcement told the state park not to show anybody the footage because it was part of the investigation. So, we feel like if there was nothing to see here, then there would have been no problem with him looking at the footage. So we're
very good point by Mr. Mathis. If there's nothing there, why not show it to him? Oh yeah, here, you're welcome to see it. So is it just because it's an investigation of a child missing, we're not going to let anybody show anybody anything, whether we believe it's him or whether the father believes it's him, whether the mother believes it's him? We don't show nothing because we just don't do it. What's the truth?
We're hopeful that there's something positive going on.
But wouldn't police want the missing teenager's father
Exactly.
to look at the footage to confirm that that is in fact the missing teenager?
Exactly.
So I ran Seth through this scenario the other night. Let's say that there was footage of him walking and getting into a car with a license plate, and Seth caught a glimpse of that license plate. I think Seth could tell you what he would do if he got a license plate number and thought his kid may be somewhere. You can answer that again, Seth.
I'd be knocking at their door, probably aggressively.
So,
there's,
go ahead.
Of course.
We're trusting that there's a good reason that they're not letting him look at this video. It could be for safety. It could be for vetting purposes. But I know it's hard as a dad not being able to see that video.
Seth, your son was at your ex-wife's home when he vanished, his mother's home when he vanished. What has she told you about, he disappeared according to her in the middle of the night, correct?
That's what she said.
Has she told you anything else?
Just what the news knows.
So you're not speaking to her yourself directly?
Oh, Lord.
Yes and no, but it's not.
And do you feel... I'm sorry, go ahead.
We're speaking about future things like the vigil that's coming up, things of that sort.
All right, this is a very mysterious case. Are you hoping, Seth, that the FBI gets involved if it's a missing teenager, underage, who's now across state lines?
I would truly hope that the FBI would take the lead because I believe that is my son and he is across state lines. And I would really, truly appreciate it if the FBI did take lead on this case.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com.
Elizabeth Vargas, News Nation. If you need verification for this content, thank you all so much for joining me. Seth Rogers believes that photo circulating is of his son. Mr. Mathis is the one who spoke to the owner of the photograph. But you didn't give us no detail of what she said, didn't say. Why she didn't call the police. Ms. Vargas, you should have asked those questions. I'm sick of y'all 5-minute clips. Stop teasing folks. Get down to the point. Well, Mr. Mathis, what did she say? What was she doing? Why didn't she call the police? That's what you're supposed to ask Ms. Vargas. Maybe that'll be another interview tomorrow. Or maybe this is a 30-minute, 40-minute interview that you chopped up in segments because you all do have a habit of doing that. But this is what we want to hear, not open-ended conversation. And Seth, some people just don't like your attitude. Maybe there's a reason why you have it. I don't know. Tired, not getting enough sleep, aggravated, don't want to say the wrong thing. And I think it's interesting that Mr. Mathis has no what is the word I'm looking for? No formality in representing families with missing children, family members. And he said, I've told him we need to choose who to talk to and not talk to. Basically, what you're saying is, Seth, quit talking to them damn YouTubers. Ding, ding, ding. I'm dead, Freddie, I'm dead. That's what you want to say, but you don't want to seem mean. You got to stop talking to them damn YouTubers because Chris is talking to them enough. Don't do no more damn interviews with them damn YouTubers. Because they're the ones that keep up the most shenanigans. Show you right. They're the ones that keep spreading shit that ain't the truth. And their little croonies following behind them, passing shit from one network to the other, one chat to the other. Ooh, because you know y'all will do that. And he said this and she said this. And over here on such and such channel, they said this and he said this. But you ain't heard nothing from the police. What did the police say? Because I can tell you the truth. I get tired of hearing about what somebody said on somebody else's channel. I want to know what the fuck the TBI said. What did the police say? I don't want to hear nothing about what the fuck somebody said over on somebody else's channel. What somebody said in the chat. I want to hear what the police has to say. So, Mr. Officer, what do you have to say about the photograph? You can't say nothing because you don't know if it's him or not. How about that? Is this a hoax? Is this somebody playing a dirty game with Mr. Rogers? The Proudfoots. Because we don't really know where this photograph came from. We just know some random female. Don't know her height, her weight, her race. She was in an awful hurry. Oh, I had something to do. Well, you wasn't too busy. You took that damn picture. I just want you all to role play with the Queen for just a minute. A whole child is missing out of West Tennessee. And you just so happen to be doing whatever the hell you were doing up there at Grandpa Mountain. And a child is walking by and you just so happen to look and you said to yourself, Seth, that looks like that missing kid out of Hendersonville, Tennessee. See, I almost said Rogersville. Shut your mouth. Don't do it, Queen. Hendersonville, Rogersville. Shut your mouth. Say it again. See if somebody can catch what I'm saying. Hendersonville, Rogersville. Hendersonville, Rogersville. Connect the dots. Somebody, let's play Connect 4. Ooh, shit. I think Queen on to something. Hendersonville, Rogersville. Sound like a song to me. You in such a hurry, but you got time to take a picture, but you ain't got time to dial 911 to the 1. But I sure bet you texted all through dinner to tell every Tom, Dick, and Harry you think you saw a little boy missing. And I'm sure somebody in that conversation said, well, damn, Susie, did you call 911? Well, no, I didn't. Honey, I'm trying to get to the table so I can get my dinner. I'm awfully hungry. I'll call them later. You see how stupid you all make country folk look? Like we just a bunch of fucking hillbillies down through channel. But I bet if it was one of your fucking grandkids, you'd have broke your fucking neck to call. Yeah, I'm calling your ass out. Because this is stupid. This is the very reason why crime goes unsolved, because nobody wants to get involved. You don't know the Hendersonville folk from a can of paint. You don't know Seth. You don't know, or do you? Shit, let me take that back. Let me retract. Because you might know all these damn folks. Let's hypothetically say you don't know none of these parents. All you had to do was say, yes, operator. I need an officer over here immediately because there's a missing boy out of West Tennessee. His name is Sebastian Rodgers. I believe perhaps this is the boy child. I could be wrong, but please can you send an officer, a deputy, a sheriff, or somebody? No, you went on about your merry way to sit down and eat at Cracker Barrel, and you can best believe Sebastian Rodgers was the topic of the discussion. I put my money on it. I put my money on it. What do you have to lose by calling 911? Nothing. You don't have to give your government name. You don't got to give, what color car you in. You could just say, well, I was out and about, and I thought that boy looked awfully familiar, this child I saw, the features, blah, blah, blah. And then hang up the damn phone. You ain't got to sit on the phone and talk. What is the truth about the photograph? Well, Queen has already brought you a live from earlier, and law enforcement says there are no credible leads to the photograph. So I don't even know why I'm even asking this damn question. There are no credible leads. So what are you saying? You went to the lady and talked to her? You're riding around that jurisdiction trying to find Sebastian? Are you asking people in the town, did you see this kid? Did you see this person in the photograph? And like somebody said on somebody else's network, imagine if it's not Sebastian and this picture is floating around belonging to another minor child. I would assume somebody's going to come a knocking saying, why do you have my child photo on social media and YouTube? Checkmate. Is this a diversion from, yes, the Proudfoots? I don't know. Is this an old photograph of the boy? I don't know. Is it a real picture of Sebastian? I don't know. Will the real Sebastian Roberts please stand up? Because I'm getting tired and I'm old, honey. Because this is just ridiculous. Proudfoots, you wouldn't be trying to play a dirty game now, would you? And Katie, where are you? Where are you and Mr. Goodfoot? Because y'all ain't saying nothing. You're talking about pissy beds and mattresses and shit. Why don't you come out and tell us, is that the fucking kid or not? How about that? You talk. You and that fucking YouTuber. Hell, for all I know, you two act like y'all screwing each other. I said it, now come from me. They say you're a little frisky. I believe Christopher Proudfoot was flirting with me. He was flirting with me. Well, if that's your type, that's your business. But I'd like to hear from the Proud Feets. somebody on my channel. Somebody said, the Proud Feets. Could you Proud Feets please tell us, is that your child or not, so we can stop these reindeer games? I don't want to keep talking about your son come January 29th of 2025, which the Queen would then be 54. So please, Katie Proudfoot, get your lazy ass up out that camper and tell us, is this your child or not in this photograph? Mr. Proudfeet, would you please tell us if this is the child or not? Because Seth says it is. I guess you all going to be cussing his ass out here shortly. Why you say that? You know that's not Sebastian. I'm tired of you folks. If I didn't know any better, I'd think y'all related to the damn whales. What y'all say? Somebody related to him. Hell, maybe that's where he's at. Maybe he's in Rogersville, Sebastian. That's going to be the next rumor. Oh my gosh, I saw Sebastian in Rogersville. Where was he? He was going up there. He was going up that broke driveway. Lord have mercy. Yes, 2.0. Hit the link. Make this live count. Give your opinion pertaining to this new information from law enforcement that they have no credible leads. This interview with Ms. Vargas, of Mr. Seth and Mr. Mathis. I will say, if you have never had a drink in your life and you are now listening to this case of Sebastian Rogers, you should be a full-blown drunk by now. You should be a full-blown alcoholic. Oh my goodness, Mary, I didn't know you drank. Well, I started drinking when I started watching YouTube. What do you mean? Oh, you heard of that little boy missing out of, see, I almost said Rogersville. That boy missing out of Hendersonville, Tennessee. Oh my goodness, I don't understand what you're saying. That drove you to drink? Hell yeah. They do 5-6 hour lives every fucking night talking about them. Oh my goodness, you've got to stop watching that YouTube. You know they spread lies up there, don't you, Mary? Well, honey, I just started watching. I just started following the story. Honey, you've got to go back to soap operas. Leave that YouTube alone. I hear those YouTube streets are very dangerous. Lord have mercy. Melissa, stop it. What's the truth to this story? Because as I said, we're 5 months into a new year. And the queen is not getting any younger. And I really don't have this kind of time to play these reindeer games with the Proudfoots. I'm going to call them the Proudfoots because that's what one of the commenters call them. The Proudfoots, Seth, Mr. Mathis, Heather, Pookie, Ray, Bubba, Sugar Mama. I don't know where this case is going. All I know is somebody's related to the Wells. Shut up, Queen. That's the next thing you're going to hear. I saw Sebastian in Rogersville, Tennessee. Why not? Why the hell not? This is ridiculous. Katie, are you going to talk to us or are you just going to sit around in that camper all damn day? I know your ass is claustrophobic in there. Tiny home living. I've been watching a lot of that on YouTube lately. It just pops up every time I turn on an HGTV video or I watch one of my decluttering videos. Tiny Nation comes up. Tiny Living comes up. That's what the fuck you and Chris got going on down there in that camper. Tiny home living. I know you miss your house, honey. You have a nice house, I must say. I don't know what's all inside. But hell, I wouldn't mind having a house like that. I'm just saying. Rooms to roam around in. Don't you miss your house, Katie? Katie. The queen's talking to you, pale-faced Katie. And you need to get your ass some sun while you down there in that damn camper. I hope you all find a swimming pool for you to lay by because your ass needs some sun. You need some sun. You need some vitamin D, little girl, because you a hot butter mess. Oh, Chris probably wouldn't allow that. Now, I don't want you to leave this camper. Don't you open this door for anybody. I don't want you talking to anybody. I want you to be careful. Those YouTubers, they be everywhere. They might follow you to the Piggly Wiggly and pretend and hold a conversation with you. And before you know it, you'll say the wrong thing. I don't want you saying the wrong thing. I was listening to a certain YouTuber the other day. And I mean, this fucking woman is dizzy as, oh Lord, shut up, Angela. This heifer got the nerve to ask this question of what y'all were talking about that night when you allegedly you were on the phone with Christopher Proudfeet. What difference does it make how long they were on the phone? You don't even know that they were on the phone. You people are amazing. It's just like the whales. It's the whales all over again. Oh, she said they were on the phone for such and such time. And then she's going on in her commentary. Oh, Christopher, don't you have to get up and go to work in the morning? Not after I've killed the kid, bitch. Hell no, I'm tired. I don't mean to be rude, but you all know how I cut up. Because you got to think like these fools think. You just asking all these stupid questions in your video. Well, Katie, I want to know, how long were you on the phone with Christopher? Christopher, what were you doing while Katie was talking to you? Scratching his ass, crazy bitch. Who cares? Oh, he was gnawing on his nuts. That's what he was doing. Would that make you feel better? I don't mean to get pornographic. I guess I'm in some kind of mood tonight. But this is stupid. You want Christopher to tell you what he was doing while he was on the phone with Katie. Are you hearing this? It's like, what is wrong with you? You people listen at these people and you take every little thing they say as if it's the truth. Well, Akira, don't spit out good coffee, baby. Times are hard. You can't be spitting out good coffee. I'm just saying. I want to know, what was Christopher saying to her while they were on the phone? I want to know what they were doing. They probably were laid up together, you dodo bird, if they killed their fucking kid. Damn, are you this damn crazy? You believe anything these fucking people say? Oh, you said you were reading a book. Oh, then you said you were on the phone with him. Okay, so if they told you they were looking at unicorns, you gonna question that? What the fuck is wrong with you people? Stop repeating what the fuck these people have to say pertaining to their missing children. They've already lied how many times in news interviews and panels on YouTube, and yet you're gonna make a whole fucking video about what the fuck Christopher said to Katie. I couldn't believe I was sitting there listening to that bullshit. I turned it off because when I started getting disinterested and you're talking in fucking circles, I turned that shit off because it's dumb as fuck. Christopher, what were you doing while Katie was talking? I was touching myself. That's what I was doing. She's my wife. I can do that. Katie, what were you doing while you were talking to Christopher? I was touching myself because that's my husband. What the fuck? You don't even know if they were on the phone with each other that fucking morning. We don't even know when the fuck the kid got gone. And now I brought you commentary from the news that says, ding, 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 ding. We don't have surveillance of Sebastian Rogers, so the questions you're asking on your YouTube channel are idiotic. Stop asking stupid questions, lady. Were you really talking to Christopher? Christopher, were you really talking to Katie? Oh my gosh, I need to know the answer. Jesus wept. Who the fuck is running this show? Just stupid questions. The people have showed you they are pathological liars. She goes on the news to tell you what happened that morning. She gets up on another interview and tells you she heard a thud. And you're going to wait 2 months to make a video, 2 months later, make a video saying, I want to know what Christopher and Katie were talking about. Just fucking ignorant. Hit the link, everybody. The queen is tired of talking up here. You have an opinion pertaining to Seth Rogers believing that the photo is that indeed is his son. Do you believe it is his son, Sebastian Rogers? Do you believe this is a hoax? Do you believe somebody's playing a dirty game with the media, the parents? If indeed the child is alive, who has the child? Why would they be out with the child knowing that somebody could see them? People have been bickering and arguing on YouTube channels about cameras there. See, this is what I'm talking about, this ignorance. This is just like Summer Wells. Oh, CPS was coming. That's the reason why they offed her. Well, that's a dumb reason. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? CPS. I'm not here. Can you come back tomorrow? Okay. Knock, knock, knock. Who is it? CPS. What's the problem? Well, I hear your child is missing. Your little girl is missing. We need to talk to you about your daughter, Summer Wells. I'll just let that sit right there. Why would a fool off a child because of CPS involvement? You are going to be the first person that a state worker is going to look at. I left your house yesterday and tomorrow your child is missing. Let me think about that for just a second. I've heard of dumb criminals, but damn. Thank you, Melissa. It doesn't register in your little tiny brain. You go kill your kid and then tomorrow, CPS is talking to you about your child. You think in that conversation, they're not going to say, well, Bob, I was just knocking at your door. I left you a business card and now all of a sudden your child is missing. How convenient. You don't think a worker is not going to say that to you. You don't think the worker is not going to tell the detectives that. Ding, 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 ding. TBI. Ding, 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 ding. Say, well, Seth Rogers, what's going on with you? Queen needs to talk to you because I'm trying to understand what the hell's going on with you because I'm becoming utterly confused at everything that's going on. I don't know what is going on with you, this case, the Proudfoots. It's all baffling and it's depressing to me. I understand you're getting ready to go back to work, so you'll need somebody to be navigating on your behalf. I don't have a problem with that, but your little short answers are a bit off-putting. Because you see, this is the attitude you had in the beginning. You acted like you knew something, but you didn't want to say something, which to me, I never could understand that because this is your child. You have every right to express yourself. Now, some would say, well, he didn't want to really tell us how he felt about the Proudfoots because he didn't want to, throw all that out there. So he waited. But in the end, there was a buildup, and that's why you popped off. Ms. Vargas asked you about talking to Katie, and you said, well, we only talk about future things such as the vigil. So basically, you were saying you two really don't talk. So let's ask this question. In the middle of May, or near almost the third week of May, there's going to be a vigil for Sebastian Rogers. Katie, are you going to show up? Because you don't work anywhere. You don't got a fucking job. So I want to know, are you going to show up? I also want to know why the fuck you haven't said anything about this damn photograph. Yes, you can. Scroll up to the top, Melissa. The link is at the top of the page, sweetheart. Anybody out there listening to the Queen, you have something you want to say about this case and this new information of absolutely nothing? Police says they don't have any credible information to the photograph. There's no surveillance of this boy. So you've got to go in the belly of the beast to say no surveillance where? Because when you're dealing with this case, like Summer Wells, you have to pretend you're talking to a toddler. Surveillance where? Surveillance at the house, surveillance outside of the house, neighbor surveillance, surveillance where the boy was out for the weekend, surveillance over here at Grandpa Mountain. What surveillance are you speaking of? Are you speaking of surveillance altogether? So if there's no surveillance of the boy, then what footage are you talking about at Grandpa Mountain? I don't know. Melissa B, where are you calling from?
Hey, calling from Minnesota.
Minnesota, let me ask you this. Is the boy child alive or deceased?
I actually wanted to say something really quick. I don't know for sure, obviously.
No.
Um,
I'm asking your opinion. Do you
Okay.
believe? Just tell me what you think.
Yeah, I do.
And where is he if he's alive?
Okay, well, let me just ask you really quick a question.
Oh my! Yeah, that's not how it's supposed to go, Melissa. You're supposed
Well, I
to
just
let me
wanted,
ask you the questions, honey.
well, I wanted your opinion first.
No. You let me ask you the questions, and then I'll decide if I want to answer.
Okay.
Okay. Do you believe the child is alive? You said yes. Where do you believe the child is, ma'am?
Well, I don't know for sure, but I have a feeling that Katie does. And I have a feeling that Katie, in my opinion, Katie and Candace.
Okay.
Okay. You want to go there? Yeah, we'll go there really quick. I believe Candace and Katie were the last parents
Okay.
to see these children.
Okay.
And if the latest rumor was, do you remember back with Summer's case that they were going to sell that house, right?
The Wells house.
On Ben Hill.
Okay.
They were going to sell that property. Well, now the latest thing is that Katie and Christopher are going to put their house on the market for June.
And I said that weeks ago. I said the next thing you're going to hear is that they're going to sell their house. When I found out they were in that camper, she was not working. That was the next thing I said. I said the next rumor you're going to hear is that the house is up for sale or somebody's going to see a sign up for sale because this is bad business for them. The CIA or whomever, FBI snooping around their property, they're not going to feel comfortable living there. You know what I mean?
Okay, let me just say, if this was one of my kids or my grandkids, this is not what I would be doing. Okay?
What is that exactly? What is that?
I would not be selling my home because Katie, in the beginning, Angela, Katie had stated, I'm just waiting for Bubba to walk through that door.
Right, exactly. Oh, you're good. You're good at remembering stuff, aren't you?
Hey, if Bubba's going to walk through that door, why would you sell the home? And why did you take off in the first place to go down to the campground?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said earlier in my live. I said, imagine being found and then the police show up to the house and there's nobody there to even answer the damn door.
Exactly.
Hey, 100%. We got to go to Mississippi to go knock on a fucking camper door to let this dizzy broad know we've got her kid, or basically we're going to call her. Ring, ring, ring.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Katie Proudfoot. This is she. Well, Katie, guess what? We found your son. You can come back now.
Right. You know, it's going on 3 years in June for summer. You know, all this drama, or let me ask you, in your opinion, with Chris, the way he acts and he talks to other YouTubers, doesn't it remind you of how Don kind of was? Like, really controlled the narrative?
It's the same case in a different location and a different economic background, but same race, same shenanigans. It is identical. You don't find it strange that you have two cases in Tennessee where a child is missing and the person that's the orchestrator of the good news was allegedly not present at the time of the disappearance. So just like with the Wells case, for all we know, Don was there all alone.
Yes, he was. I believe. You know what? When Mr. Christopher McDonough, when Mr. McDonough was at the property, I swear, I believe Don was in that damn shed, hiding.
I don't know why you all thought that. Why would he hide in a shed? You know how hot a shed is?
Because it's Don Wells.
No, but I'm just saying, why would he hide in a shed?
I don't know. Why do these things happen? Why do these parents have to act like that? Yeah, I don't.
I would never assume he hid in the shed. He had no reason to hide in the shed. He just come up the road just like he'd been off somewhere doing his job and just show up like Johnny Come Lately. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I wonder, I'm just wondering, did Katie bring Sebastian to somebody in her one of her family members? Did you hear about
Why?
all those
I don't want
things?
my kid. I want you all to stop saying that. Think about what you're saying. Why would I be hiding a kid I don't want? I don't think they wanted the kid. Why am I going to give him to somebody else? Nobody wants an autistic kid. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. But if you're the mother of an autistic kid and you don't want him, why would a stranger want him? Not being disrespectful, but just think about it. He's almost grown. So let's look at it. Listen, let's look at it that he's difficult. Because that's the one thing nobody in this story is telling us the truth if the child was really difficult or not, as not to look bad. So let's say he's difficult. He lashes out. He's biting people. He's fighting. You want me to believe they took the kid to another state to hide him out for what reason, Melissa? Think about it now. Why would you hide out an autistic kid?
I'm wondering if it was a financial situation.
Or
it was a power. It was kind of a power play to keep him from Seth, because Seth was going to get him in June or July. Seth was getting custody.
Okay, well, let's go here.
So was this some kind of a scary little payback?
Okay, so listen to here. So I'm going to hand my kid off to get back at Seth. How long do you think this was going to last, hiding him out?
I don't think they realized how big this story was actually going to end up being.
Well, that's what everybody said about the Summer Wells case. That they didn't think the same either.
That's right.
Okay.
I have been
well,
asking
just imagine
myself,
if the child is a lot to deal with. Don't you think somebody want them to come pick him up now?
Okay, well, I have first-hand knowledge of an autistic teenager. My mother was a nanny for a 6'5" autistic teenager at 60 years old. And she is my height. She's 5'2". And I would go there with her while she was nannying. And I would see, he could have a little bit of behavior situations because he didn't want to do something. And I saw that Sebastian's becoming a young man now.
Yeah.
That photo looks older. Doesn't it look like it was a couple years ago, maybe, of Sebastian? It looks in that photo.
See, you got to remember something. We don't know what the boy looked like because people don't give pictures at the time that a person goes missing.
Well, why would
you see it all the time. People put shit on profiles, and it's 5-6 years ago. So I don't know what the boy looked like.
That's being deceptive, right there.
Yeah, I don't know what the boy looks like. Dark hair, light hair. Did he put on weight? Did he gain some weight in his stomach? You see what I'm saying? I don't know because I don't know him. I have no idea. But somebody in the chat has a good point. Did they ask Seth to take him more? Could be. Hey, can you come get him this weekend? We want to go somewhere. We want to do something.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I think they're tired of the kid. I'm just going to go with the stats from the FBI. That's just Queen. Okay. I don't do all that human trafficking stuff because a lot of times those type of situations don't have nothing to do with why children are missing. There are times when children actually do run away. I can't say if he would run away or not. I do not compare all autistic children the same. Everybody's got their own version. Everybody's got their own version of what an autistic child would do, but you can't speak for what another autistic child would do. That's your child. What your autistic child does, another autistic child may not do.
Correct. That's true. That's very true.
So I don't believe in all that. They like water and they'll go do this. You don't know him.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know
him. I understand where you're coming from.
And that's why I don't judge everybody's case the same because I'm not going to judge every autistic child the same. I'm not going to judge every Down syndrome child the same. I'm not going to judge every white person the same. So why am I going to judge one autistic child versus another autistic child? I don't know because with all these horrible rumors about the bedwetting and stuff, that shit is so deep.
Why did they?
That shit is so deep.
I wouldn't put that on blast.
Well, a lot of people feel like that the shit has gone too far with YouTube.
Okay.
It's gone too far because when you start talking about a child wearing a diaper and kids making fun of him, you've gone too far.
Yeah, I agree. You shouldn't say that stuff. It just feels like he was saying really rotten things about
So
Sebastian.
that's what I'm saying. So you want us to believe this kid was a happy camper listening to what this motherfucker is saying about him? Think about that for a minute. This is what you're putting out in the universe about a person who can't defend themselves. But guess the one thing I didn't hear anybody say, why was he wearing the diaper? Mr. Proudfoot.
Right.
He didn't tell the world why he was wearing the damn diaper. Tell us why he was wearing it. Seth, same thing. I asked the same question the other day. Seth, Rogers, Proudfoots, why was the boy wearing a diaper? Nobody has an answer.
I didn't hear an answer for that. Did you ever get an answer?
I don't watch it because I don't listen at that bullshit, Melissa. I won't listen to it.
You know what? There's certain times where I can, and there's certain times where I go about 5 minutes and I'm out.
Because they're liars. They're liars for one. They're covering up something. So you have to be very careful in listening to people spin bullshit. Now, I'm not here to say the boy wasn't using the bathroom on himself. But what somebody logically should be saying, well, okay, Mr. Proudfoot, since you want to put this boy's personal business out here on Front Street, you already act like you and Katie don't give two fucks about him. You're not even home. Right. If the boy comes home to open the damn door for him, well, tell us why he was wearing a fucking diaper. Why is a 16-year-old wearing a diaper?
Man, this is so sad.
And Katie needs to get off her lazy ass and get a grip.
She's
despicable. She's more despicable because she's his biological mother.
I haven't seen her. Have you seen her at all anywhere?
You're not going to see her. You're not. This bitch wouldn't even hold her head up when she gave her first interview.
Yeah.
She did that. She did that video with Olivia. Her head's down. One video of just her hands.
Right. And then the one with Nancy Grace. Remember how Christopher was acting all prim and proper that night, wasn't he?
Well, because everybody knows how Nancy Grace gets down. You know, she hollers, she screams, she cuts you off. You know, she's like she's just a steamroller.
Mm-hmm.
So he knew to act right. He knew not to get ignorant with Nancy Grace. See, he knows who to go toe to toe with. And just like these other YouTubers arguing with him back and forth. Oh, tell me the truth. Tell me what you did. What? Do you hear yourself? Why am I going to tell you what I did with a kid? If I killed my stepson, I killed my son. I am not going to go on a YouTube channel and tell you, yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and tell the truth. Yeah, I killed my kid. These are the reasons why I got rid of him. Now, don't you tell nobody. This is a closed set. It's just stupid.
Oh, dear. Mm-hmm.
You got a YouTube channel and you got your thumb up your ass like Christopher Proudfoot's getting ready to confess to you what he did with a kid. He's not going to do that.
Right. So,
and Katie is sitting up here with her tail between her legs, and she knows something. Because don't you find it strange with all these new information, glasses, pants, this and that, you don't hear a peep out of her.
Word.
Nothing.
Especially about the photo. I was like,
Katie, where are you?
Right. As a mom and a grandma, I would be the first one to talk. I wouldn't let a man, husband, whatever, speak up for me for my side of it because that's my child. I've been divorced. I've had stepfathers in my kid's life, and they treat my son bad. I left them.
Yeah.
Period.
That's why you know something bad happened.
Yep.
That's the only thing I can think of right now.
I would not let him control the conversation for me.
Yeah.
But I'm
That's
wondering
what he's doing. He's orchestrating the narrative because he knows, like Donna Wells, Katie can't talk, Candace can't talk. So let me spin the story. You're not good at doing this.
Yes, Candace and Katie are not very well spoken on camera. But then you have the controllers, the narcissistic husbands, Don and Chris, taking over. I don't think that's a good idea.
Well, what do you think of Seth?
Let me get off camera for a second. I'm gonna have a cigarette while I talk to you.
Well, go ahead.
All right. Can't you know what? I'm not a judgmental kind of person. I was on his side 100%
Mm-hmm.
in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
but then why do you have PIs and PR people now? Like,
Well, you know he's
why?
starting work next week, says Mr. Mathis. So I could see why he would need somebody to speak because he won't have time to talk and do interviews depending on his shift. You know, I don't know what shift he's going to be working. Maybe he's going to be working third shift, second shift. That would be around the time that they would do news interviews. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
So is this on like mainstream media news in Tennessee at all, or is this still
Hell
just a
yeah,
youth?
it's on mainstream news. It's
Oh,
on,
is it?
at least it's Nashville news all the time.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's different.
Of course, I'm 3 hours from Nashville, so you know I have the Newsbreak app, so I get notifications for everything, just locally and around the United States in general and abroad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I always advise people: if you don't watch the news, you don't have cable, download the Newsbreak app on your phone, computer, and you'll get updates, you know, to your weather. They do lives now, so you can get the latest information of anything going on with like P. Diddy, Britney Spears, this case, what the hell's going on in Louisiana. You can even type in a location, anything coming up in New Orleans. I can type in New Orleans right now on the Newsbreak app. It'll bring me all the latest news going on down there. Type in LA, you get all the latest news from Los Angeles.
Oh wow. That
Yeah,
sounds
for the
good.
Newsbreak. So you can
Newsbreak.
either download Newsbreak or Breaking News, whichever
Okay.
one you prefer. That's where I get a lot of my content for my channel.
Oh, okay. See,
So you
I
wanted
have.
to ask me something, so I'm going to oblige you.
Yes, please. What do you think when Chris, Mr.
Mr. Proudfeet.
Let me make myself crystal clear.
Okay.
Um, no, when he said that he basically got Seth that job,
I hadn't heard that.
you know, I mean, he just made himself just all puffed out, and I've got this big chest and whatever, and Seth did
So
what I
he may have
wanted him.
said that to show he don't need to be talking.
Okay, well, Seth doesn't do very well when he does talk, does he? He's kind
Well,
of shy.
what you have
He's
to ask yourself is, number one, is that his demeanor? Number two, he's nervous. Number three, he has more to say and knowledge of things that he is scared to tell, or all of the above.
ah.
I think we know it's all of the above, perhaps because when he let loose on Court TV, he started cursing. I don't give a F. So that means he did have more knowledge of Katie's demeanor with his son, because we didn't know anything about what happened in California.
Right.
We didn't know anything about Nina and Mr. Proudfoot and that debacle with her coming to Tennessee, being lured here, them kidnapping her kid. That was some deep shit.
Yeah, that was.
But this is what I've learned about life. There will always be a sacrificial lamb to free another lamb. And that's what I saw with Summer Wells. One lamb had to be sacrificed to free three. This lamb may be sacrificed to free Nina's child. See what I'm saying?
Oh, I didn't even think that way.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
A lamb for a lamb.
So, speaking of just one really quick thing. Oh crap! I forgot what I was going to say. No. Remember what you said about CPS?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what I feel? Okay, this is just my opinion. This is allegedly, in my opinion, why they got rid of Summer is because wasn't it Don or Candace that said, or maybe it was Allie that had said, if he got charged with another SA situation, he would get federal time.
Yeah, or just abuse in general, any abuse of a child, period, under the age of 8.
I believe that they knew that there was some kind of abuse going on with that little sweet girl.
Yeah. Well, I was listening to this. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Don could have,
Yeah. So I was listening to this woman who uploaded content, and I was listening to it last night, and it was content from years ago about the person who called CPS on Candace and Dawn, and that the little girl was always grabbing her crotch. I don't know if I remember hearing that years ago, because it's been a while, going back in time with all the he said, she said pertaining to the case. But just the thought of somebody saying every time I saw the little girl, she would be grabbing her crotch. That's a deep thing to say. So then it makes your mind, your mind starts to wonder, well, why would a child be grabbing their crotch? Is it because they're not clean? They need a bath? They soiled themselves? They got on a dirty diaper? You notice that with children, they'll tag at the diaper, toy with it because they're wet. So she would be too old to be wearing a diaper. So why would a girl child be toying with her crotch? Could it be she's broken out, she's got cooties, or somebody's been touching her and she's itching, or you know what I'm saying, she's got some type of yeast infection? That was also mentioned that the little girl had yeast infections, or the person suspected she had yeast infections. This is conversation that nobody should even be having, talking about a fucking kid.
Yeah.
Just the thought that somebody's touching a little girl down there. And you don't really know if it was Dawn. Could be her brothers, if you just want to go deep into rabbit hole.
Oh, shit.
Because you learn by example. And if you are a pedophile, you could be a dual pedophile. That means you like boys and girls. So for all we know, since everybody's so hyped up believing he touched this girl because of what Mary had to say, I've always told people that if you had never heard from Mary, you would have never assumed Donald Wells was a pedophile. Let's keep it real. You would have never assumed that, because you didn't know anything about him to assume that. You only assume that, some people, because Mary came out, talked to Chris Madonna, and then everybody started, oh, he must have done something to her. Oh, you understand what I'm saying? But what if you had never heard that? Oh, she fell off. What if no one ever heard from Mary? Most of you would have never assumed that Donald Wells was a pedophile. And I'm not here to say he touched his child, didn't touch his child. I don't know what happened in that house. I don't know why a little girl would be touching herself. Now, could she be exhibiting behavior of somebody doing stuff to her? Could be. Could be that she was unclean. Could be she had something down there, creepy crawlies, cooties or something. Could be the worst. Somebody's been touching her and her private parts are, private parts were, affected in some way. I don't know. This is a diabolical case because a lot of us are assuming the worst. The child is not alive. Some of us are on the fence. That's why I put the polls up on my channel to see how you're thinking, what you're thinking. And right now, many people are probably in limbo because of this photograph of an alleged Sebastian Rogers. I don't know if it's him or not. I will say the features do kind of favor him, but this is also a picture of somebody with their head down. I can't see the eyes. I can't just see the whole face. But from what it looks like, the picture does favor the boy. Now, where there's a problem, if indeed the picture is of Sebastian, when it was taken, who is the person who gave up the photo? What's their stake in the game? Does this person know the Proudfoots or Seth or any entity around these family members? What has police gathered from the photograph? Because in the end, the police can't tell us really anything as far as the authenticity of the picture because they don't know Sebastian Rogers. That's up to Katie and Seth to tell us, yes, that's my child in that photo. So what have they gathered on the people who were with the child in the photograph? Because right now it says no credible leads. I brought you that source earlier when I went live. So I don't know what is going on in this case, to be frank. Melissa, I wanted to ask you about the private detective who stepped back, but you fell off. If you come back up here on panel, I'd like for you to give your opinion pertaining to Miss Heather Tracy, or whichever one it is. Somebody thinks these other people are involved. Don't believe they're alive. Well, Akira, you really don't have to let other people be involved in unaliving a child. And as I said before, in order for him to be alive, what would be the motivation to send him off to somebody else and file a false report that he's missing? What's the end game? So, see, you have to ask all those questions and you have to have an answer. If the boy is alive, what was the motivation to hide him out? Why would the people bring him out knowing he's supposed to be hidden? Who are the people who would have him? What's their stake in the game? How long was the rule supposed to go on? Because you know you can get jail time for filing a false report, using up resources. And I think it's time that the penalties are stiff and sharp for anybody that files a fake report of a missing child or missing person, either for family, friend, or themselves. As you saw with Sherry Papini out in California, it took years to bring her to justice, and she got time in prison for pretending to be kidnapped by Hispanic women. She deserved every fucking day. And she also got money from the Victims Association of California, $30,000. Well, guess what? They have to pay that money back. People judge the husband on how he spent the money, but you can't judge somebody for how they spent the money, because once somebody gives you money, it's your money. You can't tell somebody how to spend the money. Naturally, you take the money, you're going to buy things. You're going to pay bills. It's free money. The link is in the chat if you'd like to join the Queen to discuss the findings of this photograph to be non-credible, no credible leads, rather. Seth Rogers believes the photo is that of his son. Where is Katie Proudfoot and Mr. Proudfoot in this debacle of the photograph? Will they speak publicly to the news to say it is their son or it is not their son? Will we hear from Katie and Christopher Proudfoot? Will Mr. Proudfoot stop giving interviews to YouTubers? Are they going to move officially and sell their house? They really don't have any reason to stay. Let's be truthful. And she made that clear when she jumped inside her vehicle and followed her husband down to Memphis, Mississippi. I have disengaged from this case of my missing child. And that would lead me to believe she had disengaged beforehand. Because if indeed the child is alive, wouldn't you want to be there at the house when authorities brought him home? Or if he found his way back home? It's a very baffling situation. 68 viewing. Thank you for your time. It's very scary. Scary world we live in. What will be even more scary is if we find out that other people are involved in this debacle of a missing boy child, whether he's alive or dead. And that's a video I want to do. People who involve themselves in murders, why would you go along with the crime? For what reason? As you see with the Kansas women, all these people arrested, all for what? Two women snuffed out for a custody dispute. Now none of them have the children. It's very sad. Private investigator lady, what do you have to say about the the information from law enforcement that there are no credible leads to this photograph. What was the real reason you backed off from this case? Falling out? Felt undervalued? Not appreciated? Seth didn't want to pay? What's the truth? You also heard Mr. Matthews say he's not being paid anything by Seth Rogers. So this is why I kept telling everybody the other day, pay attention to the information. What is the truth to why that lady is not working with Seth Rogers? I say there's more to the story. That's Queen. Been on top of this dirt too long. But now that this man says he's not being paid by Seth, then now you got to ask this lady, why is she not on retainer anymore? Something's off. Why do you all keep wanting to say the Proudfoots relatives are involved? Please help me understand why. Why do these people need to be involved? I'm not saying they couldn't be, but I'm just saying, why do you all think they're involved? Why couldn't it just be between Katie and her husband? Because the least people that know your business, the better. All you need is a leaky roof. The cat's out of the bag. And now you're sitting in the interrogation room trying to explain why somebody knows about your missing kid that's dead. So you have to know the Proudfoots to know what kind of people they are. We know he runs to his mother for help, mother and father. So is that the reason why you all think these people are involved? Because he did it with Nina, kidnapping the child, the girl child. Hit the link if you want to give your opinion. If not, I won't hold you off. But I don't know what's the truth to the photograph. I don't know the person that uploaded the photograph. I don't understand why that lady didn't dial 911. I don't know what's factual or not. So I can't really give my opinion. Because I don't really know what I'm listening to. Because in the end, when you see the signs that a person has lied about the disappearance of another human being, how can you believe anything that they continue to say? I can't, and I will not. I do not believe Katie and Christopher have been forthcoming in their information pertaining to the weekend of the 25th rather. So therefore, anything that they have said in a news interview or YouTube, it means nothing to me. It means nothing to me. Because as the old saying goes, if you lie about one thing, you'll lie about another. So all this bullshit about diapers and peeing and mattresses and soil in the rooms, stinky rooms, is just ridiculous. Because I don't know why anybody would put that information out about a child. What he's doing, for those who are not paying attention, he's telling you he loathed the kid. Anybody listening? I'm not going to tell you I killed the kid. I'm going to tell you why I would have killed the kid. Checkmate. Damn, Queen, shut your mouth. I'm not going to tell you I killed the kid, but I'm going to give you reasons why I wanted him gone. Hot damn. He's pissing everywhere, boo-booing everywhere. He's a problem. He's all in people's peripheral. He doesn't know when to be quiet. He doesn't listen, doesn't take directions. I'm tired of listening to this kid. Tired of rearing this kid. He's too much to deal with. Rather have my own kid here. I've told my wife 1,000 times, you got to get this kid into shape or he's got to get out of here. I'm sorry, Chris. I'm sorry. I'm doing the best I can. What do you want me to do? Well, he can't stay here. Call Seth. Tell him, come get him. And I found that interesting. 2 men canoodling over getting the boy out of the house. Wow. Hey, man, I know you want your son. I know you love your son. And I've told Katie, hey, let the boy go spend time with his dad. He needs to spend time with his dad. You've had him all these years. Seth deserves to have his son. Bravo. Did it kind of go like that, Christopher? You played on Seth's desire and love for his son. Because frankly, you were tired of dealing with the damn kid. You all better pay attention. Because I've been woke. See, that's something I do. I don't have to hop around listening to all this he said, she said shit. I just watch. I had people tell me that when I'm out. You're a watcher, aren't you? I said, yes, I am. Because so long as my fucking back is to a door and I can't see anything, you damn skippy, I'm going to watch. I want to look at everybody in the damn room in case some shit pop off. And my daddy taught me that. Sometimes it's best to be quiet. Listen. Thank you, Melissa. Because you can learn a lot by listening. See, all that stirring the pot and who did what, who you think did this, and who did that. Scratch all that. Scratch all that outside shit. Mamas and grandmamas and grandpas and uncles. You stick to Proudfoots and Seth. That's where the truth lies. Between those two. Those three. The biological parents and this Mr. Christopher Proudfoot. Everybody else is null and void because you can't have one without the other. Nobody's going to make a move on Sebastian without their fucking permission. So if there are any outsiders involved in the disappearance of this child or the hiding of a child, it was on the parents' watch. Checkmate. As we say in the street, nobody moves, nobody gets hurt. Somebody orchestrated the unaliving or the hiding of a child. But why I refuse to believe it's a hiding is because I have to do due diligence to say, well, what would be the motive and how is it going to end? Because eventually the story has to have an ending. You know, pretend this is Netflix, Tubi. There has to be an ending. So what's the ending? If you're hiding the boy child, number one, what is the motive? Number two, how long do you think this is going to last? Number three, what if the people are tiring of the boy child? Number four, how are you going to bring him back? Damn. Who's going to bring him back? Ain't nobody thinking about that. This is why I tell you have to stay woke. You have to ask every pertinent question and have a definitive answer to make it make sense. Who is going to bring him back? How are you going to bring him back? You're going to drop him off at the side of the road? We don't have payphones anymore. You're going to tell him to go in there and tell somebody he's Sebastian Rogers and lost? Been kidnapped? Make it make sense. And the one thing you all forgot about hiding him out. Oh, shit. Ain't nobody thought about this. This is why I know nobody's paying attention. He's 16. He can talk. Come on, you guys. Stop sleeping. He can talk. You want me to believe all the shit that Christopher has put out about this boy, that he stays in people's peripheral, invading their personal space? This is the same kid that wouldn't come back and tell you, oh, yeah, I've been at my Auntie Sue's house. I've been over here at Uncle Bob's house. I've been staying over here, and we went over here. We went to Grandpa Mountain and blah, blah, blah. And they told me to stay in my room and don't come out. Come on, you guys. Stop sleeping. He can talk. So you're not going to be able to hide the kid out and think he's going to pop back up, what would be the motive? Number two, the boy can talk. You think detectives aren't gonna ask him, sweetheart, where have you been all this time? Who have you been staying with? Were you safe? Did anybody touch you inappropriately? Come on, you guys. Stop the bullshit now. He could talk. He can talk. My understanding, he's verbal. So if he's verbal, he can tell the truth. I've been in North Carolina. I've been staying in this blue house. I've been staying in this brown house. They've got a dog. They've got a cat. They let me play video games. Come on, you guys. Damn. Think. Stop listening to gossip and use your fucking head. Now, the flip side is these are stupid parents who hid him out for some sick reason, plan on him popping back up. But as I said, if you're hiding him to keep him from Seth, Mrs. Proudfoot, Seth is still alive. He's still the father. So how's that going to work? So this is why I said, you come up with the scenario, but you got to push it all the way out. You can't just throw stuff out and then you don't bring an ending to it. She's hiding the kid out. Why is she hiding the kid out? Oh, to get back at Seth. Okay, then how long is the child going to stay hidden? How do you know the people want to keep them? How do you know if they're getting along or not? Make it make sense. If it's financial, such as him getting some type of disability check, how long will the state continue to give her money for a child that's missing? See, you got to have the damn answers. And we don't got that. Because we don't know Katie Proudfoot, Christopher Proudfoot. But what we do know is what we have seen of them is not so nice. That's the point. What we have seen of the Proudfoots is not nice. What we saw of Seth in the beginning was a man who acted aloof and seemed to be a bit dense. Now, was this a game he's playing because he didn't want to be truthful about what he felt and thought of the Proudfoots? I don't know. Could be a combination of all of the above. Is he trying to play it safe now? Yes. Is that why he hired this man? Yes. What's the truth to what happened with the last PI? Don't know. But I smell bullshit. Will Christopher continue to talk to YouTubers? Probably so. Will Katie open her mouth and act like she gives a fuck? Probably not. Will the truth come out about this boy child? I have no idea. I'm going to stop right here. Since I don't have any more guests that want to come up and give their opinion, I'm going to end this live stream because this is live number 3. Please check out my earlier live stream. Very short live, 11 minutes on P. Diddy. He owes a New Orleans design firm money on an event that he canceled. And I also brought you information pertaining to this case earlier today. Please check out that live stream. Please check out my shorts. I've done about 9 or 10 shorts today for your enjoyment pertaining to breaking news. P. Diddy, this case of a man who has put bodily fluids inside of food at a steakhouse out in Kansas City, Leawood, Kansas. Anybody familiar with that area? Please check out my shorts and live stream on that said information. It's a very dirty male, 21 years of age, Jace Christian Hansen, was putting some ungodly things in people's food. What kind of food? I don't know. What was his status at the job? I don't know. But he had access to food He is now in jail on a $100,000 bond. I have not heard that he is bonded out. And the news refused to tell us what bodily fluids he put inside of the food. When I get an update, I will bring you that information. Also, I brought you content earlier pertaining to Mr. Wallen, country music star. He waived his right to appear in court last week, and we'll have another hearing, I think August 15th or the 19th of August, and we will see how he pleads, if the state will give him a plea, if he will take ownership to what he did at that bar, throwing that chair over. His lawyer has spoken and says he was not laughing on the video. I don't really give a fuck, quite frankly, because what he did is heinous. He could have killed someone. And the fact that you have the nerve to tell us, sir, the video speaks for itself. Well, I want you to think about what you just said. Can you see on the video where he threw the fucking chair off the roof? How about that? So whether he was laughing or not, he still threw a fucking chair over the roof and could have killed somebody. So what you're saying is neither here nor there. It's still heinous. He had no business doing it. He's a drunk and he's out of control. That's the bottom line. Morgan Wallen is a drunk and out of control, and he's a narcissist. And he's like a lot of famous people, wealthy people. He did what he wanted to do because he could. And what would be a shame is if the judge gives him just probation and community service, a heavy fine, and that's it. He will go out here and he'll do something else worse. It'll be much worse than a chair over a rooftop bar. Oh, you can believe that. It's going to be way worse. This time you're going to have somebody probably not speaking. Because as they say, the dead tells no tales. A dead man tells no tales. 3 men found dead in a well in Mexico. 2 Australians and 1 American. They're all friends. 2 brothers and a friend. 2 Australian brothers, 1 American friend, and also another unidentified person was in that hole or unrelated to their deaths. And they believe the same people who killed the 3 friends killed this other 4th person. As I said in my short earlier, I may do a live about this tomorrow because I gotta get it off my chest. Will you people please stay your ass from down in Mexico? Please stay your ass from down there. You see, at one point in time, Black people were considered the minority. We're still considered the minority alongside other brown people in this country. But white people, whether you're European, Scottish, English, whatever, you are the minority when you go to other countries, such as third world countries, Africa, the islands, Mexico. You need to take heed going in these places. They do not have respect for the white man. That is the reason why they're robbing you and they are killing you. And if the Mexicans don't love their own people, why in the fuck do you think they would care about you? Who cares if the almighty dollar is high down there? Stay your ass from down there. And I wouldn't be really going to any of these other places. Jamaica, Bahamas, Honduras, Colombia. Hell no. Because I think a lot of you think this is a joke. You think you go to a foreign country that nobody will snuff you out? Why in the world would that ever occur to you? That you are above being hurt? These countries do not like white people. This is why they are kidnapping white people. What do you all not understand about this? When you see people being held hostage, listen very carefully. They're not brown people that are kidnapped. They are white colored people. When you hear the people being kidnapped in places like Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, they are white colored people. Whether they're Americans, whether they're Europeans, the color of their skin is a light shade. So they're telling you they don't want you there. And yet you still keep wanting to go there, to work, to go to school, to be a missionary, be a contract worker. You take a gamble every time you go to a foreign country where they have high dictatorship. I would not go. I would not go. And I wish people would stay out of Mexico. Please stay from down there. There is nothing down there. Those guys went down there to surf. The water's supposed to be so great, so pretty. Water is water. One guy just recently went surfing. I can't remember where it is. He's now paralyzed. So that's why I'm saying water is water. How disturbing is it to travel all the way from Australia, meet your American friend down in Mexico, for three of you to end shot in the head, cold-blooded execution style, and thrown in a damn hole for some fucking tires on a damn truck? And now we hear that there's another person thrown in a hole with them. So they're out killing people. So the news needs to retract that statement, robbery gone wrong. No, it's not no robbery gone wrong. You took a gun to the robbery and you killed the people because there's somebody else that was in the well that has no affiliation with the three surfers. So you can't say it's a robbery gone wrong. Well, then what happened to the other person? And thank God one of their cohorts, a female, had one of the surfers' phone. That's how they found the guys. If you value your life, I'm serious. Please stay out of Mexico. I don't care if it's right close to the United States. You're just going to cross over into the bridge to go do a little shopping. Fuck it. It's not worth your life. Prayers to these 4 people who have perished so heinously over car tires. They could have just stolen the whole damn truck and been done with it. These people are murderers. And I am not going to sit here and believe they just popped off because you shot 3 people. So you want me to believe the gun went off 3 times accidentally? No, it did not. You know damn well they were not going to stand there and allow you to steal the damn truck or steal the tires. And you could have pulled the guns out, made them lay down, took the tires off, and went on about your way and preserved those kids' lives. You had no right to kill those people, but that's the point. You're talking to yourself to say what a person should and should not have done. They do not care about human life. They do not care about their own people down in Mexico. Those people are savages. Not all, but some. And although they've had a vigil down there, they're standing in solidarity, some of the Mexicana people, but it doesn't matter. 4 people are dead down there. And they're not coming back. And that's what people need to understand when you are traveling abroad. They look at you and think, oh, yes, they're white, they're American, they're European, they have money. This is why they're robbing you. This is why they're drugging you. This is why they're sexually assaulting you. Because they can. They have no respect for life. So if you want to go to the islands, you want to go to Mexico, you need to know the risk. I don't recommend it. That's my commentary, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me and following this network. Please take the polls on my community page. I'm going to go over to the community page right quick before I check out of here. And I'm going to answer the questions, give back the feedback from the questions I asked pertaining to Sebastian Rogers. Thank you for joining me. Is this photo of an alleged Sebastian Rogers a hoax? 10% yes, 52% no, 38% not sure. 2 comments. Jamie4890 says, I'm not sure, but I'm in North Carolina, keeping my eyes open. Somebody else says, what is the date of the photo? I'm going to reply, I do not know. This is a hot mess. All right. Seth believes photo is of his son Sebastian. Is he correct? 40% yes, 19% no, 42% not sure. So it's a tie between yes and not sure, almost. 40% of you said yes, Seth is correct. 42% of you are not sure that Seth is correct. But 10% of you believe this is a hoax. 52% of you said you don't believe it's a hoax. Very interesting. Wow, 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 wow. A UT graduate will be on that space shuttle. NASA sending a shuttle off to space. The man who's going to be leading is a UT graduate. Just bringing you the latest updates. Prayers for these children who are protesting this war. A lot of them have been getting arrested. And it's just a wicked situation. I do not keep up with what has been going on. But everyone needs to be careful. Protesting, not protesting. Let's bring you a little update pertaining to what has come about over in Mexico. Just going to play a little bit of this. NBC News is the source.
Tonight, new details on what Mexican officials are calling a robbery gone out of hand, just over a week after 3 tourists vanished on a surfing trip to Mexico. The local attorney general saying the 3 bodies discovered in a water well 50 feet deep are likely that of Jack Carter Road, Callum Robinson, and his brother Jake. Saying this appears to be an attempted carjacking gone wrong, and there were signs the men tried to fight back and met a violent end. The medical examiner's office in Ensenada saying the cause of death for the bodies found, gunshot wounds to the head. Mexican investigators seen combing through evidence, finding blood, bullet casings, and drag marks near the men's campground and a white pickup truck badly burned. Police have arrested at least 3 people, including a woman who was found with what appears to be a cell phone belonging to one of the men, but police believe there may be others who were also involved.
It's tragic. Very tragic.
James knew Callum Robinson.
Colin was a good guy, surfer. I knew he played rugby, and he's from Australia.
Callum and his brother Jake, both from Australia, loved to surf, bringing their friend, American Jack Carter Road, to Ensenada, a known surfer haven within the Mexican state of Baja California. Tonight, as the families wait for more answers, local authorities vowing to bring swift justice. Marissa Parra, NBC News.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about.
So they believe others are involved. White truck burned out. Bullet casings, blood at the scene of the crime. The guys camped out. So they were out in the elements. A disaster waiting to happen. And that's the whole point of being out in the middle of nowhere. If you found it, somebody else can find it. So you're not off the grid. What a terrible, terrible situation. Just terrible. 2 days ago, I asked you, is Britney Spears mentally ill? Been diagnosed? 51% said yes, 10% no. Both mentally ill and been diagnosed. 25% of you voted that, both. 15% said you're not sure. Somebody says, I've never watched too much of this younger generation music or Hollywood. To me, they don't seem well, or they're very fragile people, like maybe wrong business to be in. The Queen replied, even today, this issue remains with entertainers and sport athletes. Sadly, nothing has changed. Exactly. Nothing has changed. Well, Britney Spears' parents seek guardianship over her again after recent hotel drama. 28% yes, 49% no, 23% not sure. Is Proudfoots' neighbor telling the truth about seeing abuse of Sebastian by Chris? 71% yes, 11% no, 19% not sure, 140 votes. Somebody on my channel says, I believe it. Did Seth's female PI step back, not because of possible FBI involvement, but she thinks that Sebastian is alive and there is fraud from one or more of the parents, other PI being spokesman, or she and Seth were not vibing. Now I know that the other guy is not a PI. He's just a regular bloke, which is kind of odd to me that a random person would reach out to him and be the spokesperson. It's very strange too, to some degree. You're entitled to your opinion as well. But I understand him needing somebody to speak for him, only because Seth is going back to work. So once again, why did the PI step back? The female, Heather, that's her name. FBI was involved, 12%. Fraud from Seth, Katie, and Chris, 6%. Other person took the lead, 8%. She and Seth not vibing, 19%. All of the above, 56%. If Sebastian Rogers is alive, if so, is he in North Carolina? 9% alive, 47% not alive. 6% in North Carolina, 3% not in North Carolina. 35% you're not sure of either. 2 days ago, I asked you, is the photo circulating indeed Sebastian Rogers? You said 30% yes, 33% no, 37% not sure. And I also brought you content pertaining to a nurse who has pled guilty to killing her patients. She has received enough years that we won't even be around on earth. Please check out that live stream from yesterday pertaining to the killer nurse. I also brought you content pertaining to P. Diddy. His ex-former security head said that he would frolic with men in hotel rooms, men he had never seen before, but he did not believe that Puff Daddy forced women into human trafficking. He just knows that he would offer women to fly here to there, but he doesn't believe that he forced women into human trafficking. Everyone's entitled to his or her opinion. I also posted to my community page, FBI warns of dangers of in-flight sexual assaults. I've not opened that up. I may do a live on that, I may not. We will wait to see. And also days ago, the pants found are not related to the Sebastian Rogers case. WSMV4 Nashville is the source. I post all type of content to my community page, decorating videos, shorts, decluttering videos. So any of you who have a lot of stuff in your house, garage, shed, property, inside, out, please go to my community page and watch some of the content to give you incentive to clean your house. Less is more. You don't need all this stuff. Life is short. You can't take it with you. So why clutter your house up? Enjoy your stuff and value your things, respect your things. God has been kind enough to give you money to buy these things, credit cards, credit. So value your items. If you're not using them, donate them, give them away, sell them on Facebook Marketplace, garage sale. Take them to a shelter. Somebody can use the items you have. Older items, furniture, blankets, whatever you have, it's clean. Donate it, sell it. Try to keep it from the landfills. Thank you all so much for following this network. I'm going to check out of here. God bless all of you. This has been just a very harrowing day. Now, what is this that just popped up? Here is something about Sebastian Rogers uploaded 1 hour ago. Let's play this content, then I'm going to get out of here, everybody. It's Sebastian Rogers in North Carolina. Channel News 5 is the source.
At first glance, the person in this photograph sure appears to be Sebastian Rogers. Is it? That's the question right now for authorities. The photo was taken at a visitor center in the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina a week ago Saturday. A woman rushing to meet family quickly took the snapshot, thinking the boy resembled Sebastian. And later, after looking at it closely, she contacted authorities. Since then, investigators have been trying to get an identity. The key is locating the person in the photo to confirm it was not Sebastian. But so far, that person has not been found, so they cannot rule out the possibility that it might be him. Sebastian disappeared from his Hendersonville home more than 2 months ago, leaving barefoot in shirt and sweats in the middle of the night with nothing but a flashlight.
This is the system that we use to track all of our searchers.
A massive search effort of the surrounding neighborhood found not a trace of the 15-year-old autistic boy. Detectives have not ruled out the possibility of foul play or that Sebastian was taken or left the area. Eric Craddock, chief deputy with the Sumner County Sheriff, heads up the investigation.
We're doing everything we can do. Every time a tip comes in, we follow up on it.
The sheriff's office and TBI have received dozens of photos and reports of potential sightings. To date, all vetted and none confirmed. The latest tip now is this photo from North Carolina. Authorities hope the person in the photo or his family comes forward. And until someone does, the photo remains a potential lead. So what does Sebastian's family think of the photograph? I spoke with his grandmother. She tells me it's 50-50 as to whether it's him. And like everyone else, she's holding out hope. Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
So which grandmother? Seth's mother? You didn't say anything about Katie Proudfoot. Did you try to call Katie Proudfoot and Christopher Proudfoot, sir? If you did, they obviously did not respond or decline your interview. You didn't say that they declined. So we're just going to assume you tried to call and didn't get an answer. The plot thickens. Will Katie and Christopher Proudfoot speak on the photograph? A grandmother says it's 50-50. Seth says he believes the photograph is his son. You also heard in this commentary, they're trying to identify the people in the photograph. So what you have to ask yourself is this. With all the people who watch YouTube, has someone not reached out to the woman in the pink outfit to say, hey, you're in a photograph. People are wondering who you are and do you know this boy? Where is this woman? That's one thing we never discussed in this live stream today or earlier. What about the woman in the photograph or the child that's behind him in the photograph? The alleged Sebastian. Has somebody reached out to anybody in the photograph to say you need to call the authorities? Because allegedly this is a picture of a missing child out of West Tennessee. I didn't even think about that. Some of you were gossiping and rumoring that this woman was Seth's sister. Well, he just talked to the news, to Miss Vargas, and never once during the interview did he say, oh, yeah, by the way, that's my sister, so I know that's my son. So I want you all to think about that rumor that you've been passing around, that that's Seth's sister in the picture. Seth has just done an interview, and he has not alluded to the fact that that's his sister in the photograph. Ain't nobody paying attention. Well, Diana, that's the point I'm trying to make. She had to have been vetted because he just did an interview with Miss Vargas, he and Mr. Mathis. And never once did he say in the interview, oh, I know for sure that's my son because that's my sister in the photograph. Damn. Yes, pink eyes, just a damn shame. You got that right. Will the woman in the photograph come forward? And feel free to call the queen if you like, ma'am. I'll gladly bring you up just to hear what you have to say about your photograph circulating on the internet. And how do you feel about being in the picture? What did you notice that day? Were you just walking by? Who are you? Do you know the Proudfoots? Do you know Mr. Seth? Or you're just an innocent person walking by when someone snapped the picture? If you'd like to donate to this great network, $Beganji129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are always welcome during the live stream. God help us all. I am exhausted, literally, from talking about these people and these children and this nonsense with YouTube. This is just a dirty place up here, bringing content. Everyone has his or her own style of how they navigate on their network and how they bring you the information. But this case to me is eerily similar to the case of Summer Wells. It has the same ratchet hillbilly mentality and shenanigans. So it shows you it doesn't matter if you're working class or you're middle class or upper middle class. You can just be an utter fool. And it doesn't matter if you're white, if you're black, you're Latino, you're European, you're Asian. A fool is just that, a damn fool. And as I have always said before, in dealing with cases about children, the reason you get all this rhetoric and the he said and the she said and the people acting a fool and running to YouTube and social media, bitching and moaning and complaining and putting all their dirty secrets out, acting drunk, being drunk, high on dope, it's because this is who they are and this is who they were when the child was in their custody. So you can't expect better. The very reason why the child is missing in the first damn place. That's my commentary. You've been listening to the Vault Excel. Thank you.